6, December 4th, 2025, Clarksburg City Council meeting to order.
Councilmember Deems.
Here.
Councilmember Howe.
Present.
Councilmember Hyman.
Present.
Councilmember Jackson.
Here.
Councilmember Work.
Here.
Vice Mayor Ripple.
Here.
Mayor Malvich.
Here.
This evening we have our prayer and pledge by Councilmember Work.
Very good. Heavenly Father, we come to you in prayer this evening to thank you for the greatest gift that you gave to this world, and that's your Son, Jesus Christ. We celebrate his birthday this month, and with that, we're also reminded of his 2 commandments, which is to love you, Lord, with all our heart and our soul and our mind, and to love our neighbors the same. My prayer tonight is not to guide us in decision making that we make up here, because politics has no place in your kingdom. But what does have a place here is that you guide us into leadership and in our lives and how we love our neighbors after leaving here. I ask you all this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This evening we have a special presentation. The mayor and the vice mayor will be making a presentation to the Liberty Middle School football team.
The Liberty Mountaineer Middle School football team had an amazing season with an undefeated record in capturing the 2025 Mid-8 Atlantic Conference Championship with the score of 30-8 against Taylor County Middle School. This incredible team being comprised of athletes from the previous Washington Irving Middle School and the previous Mountaineer Middle School, now forming the almighty Liberty Mountaineer Middle School football team, came together, creating a powerful and unstoppable force, ending the season with a 9-0 record and outscoring their opponents 310-52 on the season. What a year. Way to go, Liberty Middle School football team. We are proud of you. Coach John Merritt.
Congratulations, man.
Next, we have Jameer Holmes.
Congratulations.
Next, we have Josiah Whaley. Anthony Morris. Next, we have Caden Davis.
Congratulations.
Caleb Gibbons. Colt Shoebridge. Frankie Butler. Lucas Ware. Zachary Cremian. Valentine White. Daxton Barnett.
Congratulations, son.
Braxton Wood. Marion Jackson. Colby Mayo. Chayton Collins. Anthony Lockett. Brandley Baldwin. Hayden Groves.
Congratulations.
Colden Lehman. Ian Barksdale. Jackson Garvin. Luke Riley. Jordan Cottrell. Caden Workman. Jax Knapp. Colton Jackson. Michael Neg. Jace Godfrey. Austin Miller. Maximus Smith. Jaden Payne. Colton Constable. Landon Peters. Jake Casto. That's a mistake so far. Austin Lipscomb. Jebediah Grega. Braxton Chase. Josiah White.
That's, really want to move in here so we can get a group picture, please?
Coach Hastings and Coach Sinclair.
Yes, please.
I just want to thank you all for taking time out of your meeting and stuff to honor us. Hopefully we'll be back in future years to come that you can honor us again.
Right. Thank you, Coach.
One comment before you guys leave. If we add in the score of the scrimmage game against Bridgeport, how many are total?
There you go.
39?
Where's it at?
Did they spell your name right? Oh.
What's up, DJ?
Hi, buddy.
Now we have an additional special presentation for the 50th anniversary of the Clarksburg Public Library.
Proclamation. Whereas the Clarksburg Public Library has served learning culture and community engagement for generations of Harrison County residents. Whereas on December 9, 1975, the library opened the doors of its distinctive modernist building designed by world-renowned architect Marcel Brewer and his associate Hamilton Smith, providing an enduring space dedicated to education, creativity, and public service. And whereas for 50 years, this building has welcomed all people, offering free access to books, technology, programs, and resources that enrich the lives of children, families, and adults throughout the region. And whereas the library has continually adapted to meet the changing needs of the community, expanding from traditional collections and story times to technology access, digital resources, and innovative new services such as the Clean Learning Library. And whereas the Clarksburg Harrison County Public Library stands as a symbol of opportunity and progress, fostering literacy, lifetime learning, and civil engagement for the people of Harrison County. And whereas this milestone is not only a celebration of the building itself, but also a recognition of the generations of staff, volunteers, friends of the library, and community supporters who have sustained and strengthened the library's mission. Therefore, I, James L. Malcolm, Mayor of the City of Clarksburg, on behalf of the City of Clarksburg, do hereby recognize and congratulate Harrison County Public Library on the 50th anniversary of its building on December 9, 2025. And encourage all citizens to celebrate the library's continued legacy of knowledge, innovation, and service.
Is our awesome marketing manager, Courtney Whitney, and I'm Shannon Beeman, the interim director of the library. And yes, so this is very iconic for us. You know, here we're celebrating 50 years of being in that building. very grateful to have served the community for literacy, lifelong learning, and connection. And we are looking forward to the next 50 years, being able to serve infants all the way to older adults, meeting their educational, their cultural, and their recreational needs. And we hope that everybody gets to come out next Tuesday. We have a nice party in the evening. It's going to be catered, we have a band. So just to really celebrate our 50 years. I want to say a special thank you to all of you for the dedicated funding. You keep us operating. Thank you, thank you. And also special thanks to Public Works, to James Demeria and his group. They've done an amazing job on putting up our banner, taking down our banner last week when the wind was blowing away, and back up. And then we have some really pretty banners that are going from Baltimore into the front of the library that are welcoming, that are going to stay up, that are, first long as you can, that are on the light poles. So thank you to you all. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. That's great.
Approval of the minutes of the regular session of council held on November 18th, 2025.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
Petitions, communications, and public hearing. Camden Park, 130 West Woodland Avenue, wishes to address council concerning a house fire in Northview.
Hello, council. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. So my name is Camden Cutlip, and I'm here tonight because of what happened to my parents. One of whom sitting there because of a fire that has destroyed their home and the life that they had built in our city. And I'm here because our city could have done something to prevent that. Before I go into this, I'd like to thank a couple of people. I'd like to thank specifically Sergeant McGloney, who saw my parents' house fire from 50 and woke them up and got them out of the house, saving my entire family's lives. I'd additionally like to thank our fire staff, who did an amazing job, our fire marshals, who did an amazing job. The entire process once the fire has occurred, it has been very easy for us to navigate, and it's because of our great police department and our great fire department, and they deserve some recognition for that. For months, my parents have been dealing with problems at our house next door, 1114 North 24th Street. The grass was overgrown, vehicles sat unlicensed in the yard, and roaches started showing up in my parents' home. My parents had lived for more than 21 years in their house and had never had a pest problem. Suddenly, my childhood home was deemed unsafe, unhealthy, and stressful for my parents. They reached out to code enforcement several times, and through a FOIA request that I had determined, and through a examination myself, it looks like our code enforcement has 4 people working there for an entire city. My dad sent a detailed email on October 21st explaining everything: the vehicles, the tall grass, the pests, and nothing of substance occurred. From my FOIA request, I can't find one full inspection that occurred inside that house. And the hazards stayed. So through my FOIA request, I know the city was aware of the issues. Code enforcement had documented vehicles in August and issued violation notices. A follow-up inspection occurred of the outside property after more phone calls found the vehicles were still there. The city contacted the towing company, and the vehicles stayed on the property until October, despite the 30-day notice issued in August. When inspectors visited on August 14th, the backyard pictures were taken of the backyard. However, the backyard was not entered, and therefore they missed several things, including the chicken coop that was residing on my parents' property line, and turpentine control, probably the source of the infestation. And based on records that Clarksburg has provided, my reality that I have determined is the city had multiple legal duties to act, and every time the duty came, the city failed. Let me walk you through the timeline here, and as I go through, I'm going to just kind of, summarize, but I do have several codes that were violated by the city, and if you'd like to take note of them, please feel free. So under the Property Maintenance Code, specifically PMC 104.1, when the first unlicensed vehicle, and we had all these overgrows, that should have warranted a full property inspection, specifically because the property was vacant. No inspection happened. Not a full inspection occurred. When the postcards were posted, the city had an obligation to assess the property under 104.1 and 301.3. That did not happen. At no point in this property, when it was vacated, was a fire hazard assessment done. If it had been, my mom would be living out of a hotel. On September 11th, I checked the vehicles myself. They were still there after a month. So the city issues 30-day notices, and 30 days pass, and the vehicles are still there. So going to mid-September, that's when my parents had a pest control problem. An email was sent on October 21st detailing that we had a pest control problem, in addition to calls made on October 14th and again on October 21st. Under 302.5, again, under our property maintenance code, an infestation is a code violation that requires an inspection. That was not done. So as we continue to go, late October into November, the property continued to deteriorate, overgrown, infested, unsecured, unsafe, and no action was taken. The entire timeline that I have created, and again, I summarized it for you guys today. You're more than welcome to contact me for the full version. The city had countless opportunities to prevent what happened, and they did not act. So then it happened. I left my family's Thanksgiving at about 10 o'clock. I went to my house in Staley, where I'm living, and I get a call from my brother at about 1 o'clock. My parents' house had caught on fire. And he didn't tell me much more other than that. So I rushed over to find that the entire neighborhood is blocked off by, you can see the smoke when you enter the neighborhood. You can see the fire trucks as you roll up onto their street. My parents woke up to a police officer knocking on the door who had saw the smoke from their house from 50. Had that cop not been there, their fire alarm didn't go off for another 15 minutes. My mom ran outside barefoot, grabbed no belongings. She was terrified, she was helpless. I arrived shortly after she was outside, and I got the privilege to watch my family watch their home burn and know there was nothing that we could do. The smell of smoke, the crackling of flames, and the sight of memories of my childhood home going up in smoke is not something I'll forget. Later that morning, through the help of the fire department and the fire marshal, we were able to go back into the ruins of our house to look for anything that we could salvage. And this is Black Friday morning. I got to go in with my mom personally, and I got to stand there and watch her cry, looking at everything she had worked for. The furniture she had saved money by. We're both teachers, so I can tell you we don't make that much. And we got to move the furniture. We got to move the chardboards. We got to move the pieces of the ceiling that were laying on my childhood bed to find a piece of my grandma's estate that she had given to my mother. That's how I spent my Black Friday. We went and we found other things. We found pictures that we laid out to dry. They're currently drying in a hotel room. And this didn't have to happen. The city had warnings. The city had the authority and the responsibility to us as citizens and as taxpayers to act. And it didn't happen. The home is destroyed. It was today deemed unlivable. It will be a complete loss. And here's what I'm asking council to do. For one, I want to investigate. I want an investigation into why our code enforcement is not able to enforce more codes. And I can tell you why. It's because that man is working with 4 people for an entire city. I've known Mr. Lane a long time. 3 people, I'm sorry. 3 people for an entire city. I've known Mr. Lane a long time, and I can tell you he is a good man, and he wants what's best for our city. But 3 people for an entire city is not right. I want to implement stronger enforcement measures so that vacant or unsafe properties are secured according to our West Virginia law and your own laws that you've passed. I want for the city to accept responsibility for this loss, including paying for the demolition of their house. Because in my mind and legally, the city is negligent under a lot of terms here. And I want to ensure that in the future, residents' complaints are taken seriously so no other family has to go through what ours has. And I do want to be very clear, I won't stop until something is done here. I will be at every single city council meeting, and I will sign up to speak at every single one of them. Because as taxpayers, and as a taxpayer myself, my first home I bought is in Staley. I don't feel very good living in Clarksburg right now. And I speak for a lot of people here.
Hey.
My family has suffered far too much, and I can assure you that our next steps are going to be very thoughtful, deliberate, and closely guided. This isn't about sympathy for my family. We take care of ourselves, but it's about accountability. My parents' home is gone, their memories are gone, their sense of safety is gone, and I had to watch it happen. I had to watch my parents stand in the ashes of a life that they had built that morning, and what followed is something I will carry with me forever. And what I'm going to close on here is that as I'm driving to my parents' house to help them move their stuff into a garage that I was able to get for them, I saw a sign posted in Northview that says, "See something, say something." See something, say something. So my parents saw something, and they said something, and nothing was done. They have paid their taxes. They have followed every rule that you have put in front of them. And now what do we get out of it is a burnt house and a hotel room. And everything that they have worked their entire lives to provide is gone. So I urge the council to act. I urge you to enforce the law. And I urge you, although hard as it may be, to take some responsibility for failing our citizens, because that's what happened here. Protect other families before what happens to our family happens to them. Make sure nobody else in this city has to watch their house and their memories and their life go up into flames because warnings that were made were ignored. So I thank you for your time. And I am going to, and I know, and I usually stay for the meetings. My mom sifted through our house today to get stuff, so I am going to go take her and get her something to eat and get her out of this meeting. So I don't want to be rude, but I am going to get her back. So I thank you for your time.
Mr. Snodgrass?
Stay here for a minute.
Mr. Snodgrass wishes to address the council concerning fire fee and late fees.
Yeah. To the gentleman here, I've learned one thing living in this city. You want something done, you gotta be forceful. You know what I mean? I'm getting a fire fee here. It says quarterly. Billing date 9/30 to 11/29. I don't know what calendar you guys go by, but a quarter to me is October, November, and December. Oh, I brought this up to your finance manager, and she looked at me and said, "I never noticed that." Anyway, now the due date is 10/30. If it's a quarterly bill, why is the due date 11/31? Shouldn't it be at the end of the third month? Common sense. And another thing, City of Clarksburg's not responsible for mail delivery. Well, we ain't either. And I know this town likes nickel and diming people to death, but not in this economy. No way. So I brought this up to a gentleman at PSC, Public Service Commission. He said, "Well, that don't sound right." I said, "Welcome to Clarksburg." And he told me, because I tried getting hold of your city manager, but she's busy cleaning up the past mess of past city managers. He told me try to iron this out with you guys, and if something ain't done, he said, go ahead and send copies of this to him and a formal complaint, and they're going to look into it. So, what do you guys say about this? Crickets. Anybody?
I spoke to Mr. Snodgrass earlier. I told him I took a snapshot of his fire bill, and I told him I'm going to call tomorrow and speak to finance to see where the discrepancies are. It does look like the dates aren't accurate, so I'm going to take a look at that tomorrow.
I mean, City of Clarksburg's not responsible for the mail. Well, I don't know if Anybody told you, but they built a post office right down the street from you guys. So that's all I got to say.
Carl Radcliffe, 925 North 14th Street, wishes to address council concerning Zurich insurance claim.
Thank you, council, and city manager and mayor for allowing me to be here tonight. Just FYI, I retired from the city of Philadelphia for 25 years. So I understand all the infrastructure of every department that you guys deal with and the citizens of Clarksburg. You know, I was in Philadelphia, still reside in my home place of 66 years on 14th Street. Back in July 18th, we had some heavy rains. And prior to that, about 2 weeks before the rain came on July 18th, the contractors installed a water line, a new water main on 14th Street. And they didn't know that, but they actually cut my sewer line and they took it back up. Well, getting ready to leave on vacation that morning, I told my wife, let's wait a little while so the train goes through. Good thing we did, because all the water that came through this drain systems filled in our basement. Sewer water came in, flooded our basement. I want to compliment the Director of Public Works. The guys came out, called. They were there within 15, 20 minutes. They snaked the basement with had about 4 inches of water in it. They took the snake down in. They traced it out clear down there on James Avenue, James Street, and found the blockage. Called the contractors who did the work. They was there within probably an hour. All the workers did a phenomenal job. 2 thumbs up. That was July 18th. And so my wife, I had to go to Pennsylvania to do a revival meeting for 10 days. And she stayed home while the Crossroads Properties came in and did the mitigation, started doing all the work. And they did a phenomenal job too. I'm here tonight basically because I've called the insurance company. I called the insurance adjuster that's working for, I think, Thrashers. I talked to the owner of the contractor, Mark Urso. All real nice. But it's been almost 5 months. The 18th of this month will be 5 months. I have gotten nothing done. And I've talked to the insurance company, and I come here tonight to say, whoever the project manager is of this project, these insurance claims need to be done. The basement of my house, my wife and I, the bedrooms down there, we have electric baseboard heaters. And we still don't have no heat today because we're waiting for money to come in, waiting for the contractors to come in to finish the job. And so we're kind of, I called all of them today, said, hey, give me an update, no updates. And I never want to come to city council to bring this to your attention. You guys got enough problems to deal with. Again, I know what you're going through. So I'm here tonight to say, I called Zurich Insurance. They're saying that they're about $8,000 off of what the estimates are to have all the things put back into my basement. And they said, we'll settle with this amount of money, and they're about $8,000 short. It's unacceptable. Why is that much difference? So anyway, I want to say one thing in closing. I want to thank you, Councilman, for the beautiful prayer that you shared tonight. And I want to thank the city. The streets look beautiful. The decorations, Christmas decorations are phenomenal. It takes our eyes off the roads. and I know it's not easy for you guys. And I appreciate the time you allowed me next time. I appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
City manager's report.
Sir, that project in Northview, that is under the jurisdiction of the water board, but if you can leave your contact info with Jason there, I'll contact the water board for you tomorrow so you can get in contact with the director over there.
Thank you, appreciate it. Pass the buck.
No, not for this one. That one's not, that is not under the water board's separate from the city.
I'm sorry.
City manager's report. So under city parks, winterization is complete for parks, pickleball. The new digital sign has been installed and maintenance have been staying on track with fall cleanup. Winter reservations continue to fill quickly, and please note February 28th is the boxing for the Berg, and that's an annual event that happens. Code has been sending out letters. They've been coming to different meetings, different projects we're working on. There's been 112 building permits issued. Inspectors are keeping their daily logs and reviewed every week. We've tagged vehicles and had training classes, and there's been a number of homeless encampments checked and removed. That report again will come to council quarterly, along with the social worker report. B&O taxes, $1.5 million has come into the city, just over $23,000 of hotel taxes, and then all the corresponding fees below that. The fire department responded to a total of 276 calls for service last month. All 4 medical trucks have been received, are in the process of being put into service. Firefighters completed training on proper use of ground ladders. They also responded to a working fire that involved 2 homes. And they wanted to thank the police for assistance to get the residents out of the second house. Community development has been doing some first aid training, helping with contractor quarterly billing, working on developers for a downtown space, and updating the FEMA grant for the fire department. The police department responded to a total of 1,549 calls for service in the month of November. Patrolman Hunter Allison and Patrolman Hunter Young will be graduating the academy on December 12th. Motorists are reminded that the Clarksburg Parade will be on Friday, starting at 6 p.m., and the streets downtown will be closed at 5. Please remember that during this shopping season to keep your vehicles locked, to be extra vigilant on securing your purses and other bags while shopping and when packages are delivered to your residences as well. Public Works has been busy cleaning up the city, supporting different events that are happening. They replaced the heater in the YMCA pump house. There's been quite a bit of repairs happening up at the Y. I've been updating council on those as often as we can. The Robinson Grant has a full lineup for the month of December. You can go to their website at therobinsongrant.com for more information. Sewer and Sanitary Department has responded to 24 calls for service. They've installed sidewalks, updated landscaping, raised manholes, repaired manholes, installed laterals. They received their new 2026 dump truck, and they transferred their previous dump truck to the sewer department. There's been some people moving up once they've got their licenses within the department. The new ArcGIS mapping through Thrasher is up and running, and the Sun Valley PSD has involved new pumps, and we're still working on the Summit Park PSD. And reminders to the public to please not flush baby wipes or flushable wipes down the drains. They do not dissolve and could cause blockages in the sewer line as well as damage to the pumps.
No unfinished business, new business, consideration of emergency repair to the elevator in the parking garage.
So council was sent this report. It's wear and tear. It was damaged just from wear and tear last week. They did a temporary repair, but we're not sure how long that's going to last. That's why this is on the agenda. And it's a sole source because we are under contract with Schindler, the elevator company that we're on, and it's above $15,000. So that's why it's coming to council for that repair. It would be very hard to bring in a separate company to do that repair with bids, especially because we're under contract.
Any comments?
What's the total cost?
Just over 18,000.
I can't find it. I know it's there, I read it,
Okay.
but I just couldn't find it.
Yeah.
I'll move to
Move we approve a contract with Schindler Elevator for the amount of $18,254.55.
second. We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Consideration of downtown free parking in December.
I had this put on the agenda, gentlemen. I just think that with the parking garage elevator being down, you should offer the shoppers that come downtown free parking.
So we're not already doing this, right? Or are we?
generally we do every year, we put, little Christmas bag things over the meters.
Right, sure, but we didn't do free parking because of the road construction.
No. We
No.
always do it in December.
Yeah.
We've always done it for years.
So what's stopping us from just doing free parking until the road construction is done?
I thought we were.
I think there was some confusion, but I was downtown and I fed a meter the week of Thanksgiving. So, I mean, I agree. I think that under normal circumstances, I think doing free parking, I think we probably should have started in November, around the holiday. But I think because of the difficulties that downtown's facing, I think we should consider just extending it.
We can keep it permanently bagged.
I thought we were already doing that. I guess that was the money. How much? Dang it. Being honest, I thought we were doing that. We talked, I think, with Air Policeburg.
Some of them were,
Some of the downtown businesses.
some of them were already permanently done. I think this is just an announcement to reiterate that we're continuing to do it. And the plan was to, when the construction's done, is to get rid of the, parking meters altogether.
Right. So, I mean, I parked in front of the Looking Glass a couple of days before Thanksgiving, and those weren't bagged. So, I mean, I would make a motion that we continue free parking until the road construction is done.
I guess from a procedural standpoint, I'll make a motion that we provide downtown parking in December, and if you want to amend that, you can. That's my motion.
We have a motion and a second.
I offer an amendment to continue free parking until June.
Can you, make it very good for metered parking?
For metered, yes.
On-street metered parking?
And all that for the sake of discussion, do we have an area, or we just do it on a bike? I mean, I
Well-
think we need to be a little bit more than just.
This is the first time it's ever been on the agenda. Generally, that's been something the administration does. So
I don't think there's very many meters on Pine Street to begin with.
No, you're right, some of them are gone. I noticed most of them down by the library are gone, which I think is a good start. I guess we're mostly talking about Main, there are meters here, and it goes all the way down Main. Where else would there be meters?
Opposite Second Street.
Isn't Jackson Square considered metered parking, since you gotta pay in there?
it's off-street parking, and generally this is handled, what committee is this handled? Is it the parking authority?
So you said though that we've done this,
Every December, we get free parking.
but you said it's not been on the agenda because it's done by the administrator. By
That's
you.
it, yeah.
So, I mean, do we need to make a motion? Can we just direct you to?
So we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
I don't know, second his amendment.
There was a.
Can you clarify
Yeah.
what was the addition to the motion? It sounds like it's just,
We didn't make a motion. We didn't make a motion.
No, Wayne made the motion, there was a second by Councilman Al. So,
and I think to extend past December until construction is done.
until construction.
And we know that they're not gonna pave until March or April, that's what you're kind of told.
Yes.
Maybe, if we're lucky, count our lucky stars.
Now, is that until construction is done in the downtown area, or, the whole city?
The downtown.
Downtown, okay.
Like, this area that normally has metered parking.
Okay.
My proposal is just to extend it until the road construction is done.
Okay, there's other areas with parking meters downtown though. So this is what I'm saying, you may just wanna table the motion or withdraw. Or table the amendment and just do December, and then we can continue on with bagging for the construction, because sometimes that's gonna change on side streets and that type of thing.
I'll withdraw the motion.
So we have a motion and a second. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries.
Excuse me, but don't you have to have something downtown to come and visit?
Consideration of honoring
Sir,
James.
you can't speak during this. You have to sit.
Consideration of honoring James D. LaRosa.
I also put this on the agenda. You know, I've been approached by umpteen people asking us to do something in honor of James D. LaRosa. You know, if, you know, he built East Point, New Point, and fortunately enough for us, he annexed it into the city of Clarksburg, because I hate to think where we'd be if he hadn't have done that. You know, you would put a statue up at East Point, but you know, with the statues that I'm trying to raise money for it's very expensive. It's about $30,000-$40,000 for a statue. I thought maybe we could name City Hall James D. LaRosa City Hall. That's just my thought. Any comments, questions?
Talk about what we already have. I know there's some discussion recently about the bronze bus at the Robinson Grant. That is not him? That's not what we're
I
talking
think
about?
that's his dad. I think that's
Okay,
Jimmy LaRosa.
okay.
Martin, you know? Is
What about
that,
the
is
bus?
that James D, or is that his dad?
Which James D we talking about here?
Jimmy Joe's father, the one that was the coal baron that started, he died, and
No, I think that bust is James.
you think it is? Okay.
Somebody go check.
My question is, since James LaRosa pretty much developed East Point, probably 80% of our B&O tax, can we name, you know, I wouldn't say rename East Point, but, you know, call it, you know, Jimmy LaRosa, honorary Jimmy LaRosa for James D. LaRosa, East Point Shopping Center. Would that be something that we can do? I mean, I don't know if we can do that or not, but I don't know if someone owns the rights to name it East Point or not, but. I mean, I think that would be he made that happen, so. I just think, I mean, I don't mind naming City Hall after him, but I just think if you name the place that he helped create, that is, you know, that benefits Clarksburg so much now, I figure that when people drive by, they would say, oh, okay.
When you drive into Emily Drive on the right-hand side, there's a concrete wall there, and we could with painting that. Maybe that would be a nice way we could paint a tribute. James D. LaRosa established and a year there. So when you drive in, you see it on that wall, because it's a nice wall that you could actually paint something across and seal it on there.
And
that's our property.
That's our property. Okay,
That's
just want to make sure, because that's kind of.
That's our property. Yep.
I would be fine with that.
I can bring something back to the board next time.
You want to just table this then, or? We want to make a motion to table, please?
Action.
Yeah, we can
Just no
leave it,
action,
yeah.
okay. Fine. Council comments, Mr. Kings.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It's great to see the Liberty football team here tonight.